if I say I love one thing so much,
y digo que yo digo que si yo amo algo tanto,
but I don't talk about it,
y si yo no hablo de eso,
surely actions speak louder than words.
entonces las acciones hablan por sí solas.
In relationships, it's the same thing.
Ay,
In relationships, it's the same
Y
thing.
en un relacionamiento es igual.
I can tell my wife I love you,
Puedo decir a mi esposa, yo te
but if
amo,
I don't invest in that,
y si yo no doy tiempo en eso,
my words meant nothing.
mi palabra no vale nada.
My words have no value
Mi palabra no tiene valor.
because my actions are contrary to what I'm saying.
Porque mis acciones son contrarias a lo que yo digo.
That the Lord's placed in my heart recently
Y lo que el Señor puso en mi corazón recientemente,
is, what am I willing to pay to change?
¿qué es lo que yo estoy dispuesto a pagar para cambiar?
Or what am I willing to pay for a change?
¿Qué es lo que yo estoy dispuesto a pagar para un cambio?
What direction or what decisions am I willing to make
¿Qué decisión yo estoy dispuesto a hacer
for change
para cambio?
in myself and the things around me?
Para mí y para cosas alrededor mío.
These 12 Jesus sent out and commanded them, saying, do not go into the way of the Gentiles, and do not enter a city of the Samaritans, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And as you go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out demons. Freely you have received, freely give. Provide neither gold, nor silver, nor copper in your money belts, nor bag in your journey, nor two tunics, nor sandals, nor staffs, for a worker is worthy of his food. Now whatever city or town you enter, inquire who in it is worthy, and stay there till you go out. And when you go into a household, greet it. If the household is worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it's not worthy, let your peace return to you. And whoever will not receive you, nor hear your words when you depart from the house or city, shake off the dust from your feet. Assuredly, I say to you, it will be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. So we see here Jesus sending out his disciples,
Y aquí vemos que Jesús manda a sus discípulos
and he instructs them.
y le da instrucciones.
You go to verse 5 and 6.
Y vemos en versículos 5 y 6
You see that he tells them, go into the city, do not go to the Gentiles or the city of the Samaritans.
que vaya,
Don't go.
que no vaya a los gentiles y a los samaritanos,
But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
que vaya en las ovejas perdidas.
So Jesus tells them specifically where to go.
Y Jesús le dice dónde tienen que ir.
He doesn't separate them
Él no los separa
by age
por edad,
or by race or whatever.
por
Or for whatever.
o suponemos por lo que sea.
He doesn't say, you, John,
Él no dice tú, John,
go to the young people because you're young.
porque vayas a las personas.
Peter, you handle the older people.
Peter, encárgate de las personas más
You're a little more
mayores.
fiery. You're a little more, you'll butt heads with people.
Tú te vas a hacer mejor con esas personas.
He doesn't do that.
Entonces él no hace eso.
He doesn't separate them by age or by a specific group.
Él no los separa por edad o por diferentes
He
nacionalidades.
just says, go to the lost sheep.
Él dice que vaya a las ovejas perdidas.
And this is something that I think the church,
Y
in broad,
y es algo que la iglesia
in general, does a lot.
hace mucho.
Is we separate
Es cuando
people into
separamos-
specific groups
Cuando separamos ciertas personas en grupos
to accommodate our own situations.
para acomodarnos a nuestra propia situación.
You know, I'll rather, like me as a person, me as Gabe,
Y dice aquí tiene a Gabriel,
I'm a pastor's kid,
yo soy el hijo de pastor.
so I can talk to other pastors' kids.
Porque yo puedo hablar con otros hijos de pastores.
So I can leave,
Yo puedo salir
maybe Leo, for example,
y dejar a Leo
to go handle with this kind of group.
y tratar con este tipo de
So
grupos.
instead of me handling these people,
Y en vez de yo tratar con estas personas,
I'll go grab somebody else
y yo agarro a otras personas
and place them there.
y los pongo ahí.
So you handle them, you deal with them.
Y yo digo, tú tratas con esas
He didn't
personas.
do that. Verses 7 and 8.
Versos 7 y 8.
As you go, preach, saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Y como dice, el reino del cielo
Is at hand, is coming.
es
here.
como viene aquí.
Heal the sick,
y cura a los enfermos,
clean the lepers,
y limpia a los leprosos,
raise the dead,
levanta a los muertos,
cast out demons.
y expulsa a los demonios.
Freely you have received,
Y tú de gratis has recibido,
so freely give.
y de gratis tienes que dar.
What I love about these verses is how Jesus cuts to the chase.
Y yo veo cómo Jesús puso todos estos
He
versículos
just says it how it is.
y lo dice como es.
He says, go and preach to the kingdom.
Y
Go,
dice-
go and preach.
Y dice, vaya y predique.
The kingdom of heaven is coming.
El reino de los cielos viene.
In other words,
En otras
he's
palabras,
telling them, go.
él dice,
I'm gonna break it
vaya.
down here. It says, as you go,
Y dice, y cuando tú vayas,
preach,
predica.
saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Y decir que el reino de los cielos está, que viene pronto.
In other words,
En otras palabras,
the main point
el punto, el punto, el punto principal
is to preach.
es predicar.
The main point
Y el punto principal
of your conversations
de la conversación,
and in your meetings
de una reunión,
is to do what?
es hacer qué?
To proclaim the kingdom of heaven is coming.
Es proclamar el reino de los cielos
And that's something that we lack a lot.
y muchas cosas que fallamos.
We'll go into hours and hours of conversations with people,
Y nos vamos horas y horas de conversaciones con personas
and we don't mention Jesus once.
y no mencionamos nada
We don't mention
de Jesús.
the kingdom coming once.
Y no decimos que el reino viene
Maybe we're afraid.
y tenemos miedo.
We find a way to bring conversations
Y,
of all
tratam-
types.
y tratamos de traer conversaciones de todo tipo.
But how is it so hard to bring into a conversation
Y es tan duro traer la conversación
something that we proclaim we love?
y algo que nosotros proclamamos muy bien.
And I'm not judging, I'm saying for this myself as
Y no
well.
no lo estoy juzgando, estoy hablando por mí.
If I say I love one thing so much,
Y digo que yo digo que si yo amo algo tanto
but I don't talk about it,
y si yo no hablo de eso,
surely actions speak louder than words.
entonces las acciones hablan por sí solas.
In relationships, it's the same thing.
Ay,
In relationships, it's the same
Y
thing.
en un relacionamiento es igual.
I can tell my wife I love you,
Puedo decir a mi esposa, yo te
but if
amo.
I don't invest in that,
Y si yo no doy tiempo en eso,
my words meant nothing.
mi palabra no vale nada.
My words have no value
Mi palabra no tiene valor.
because my actions are contrary to what I'm saying.
Porque porque mis acciones son contrarias a lo que yo digo.
And at the end here, verse 8, it says,
Y en
freely
8,
you have received, so freely give.
y dice, tú de gratis lo has recibido, de gratis has recibido, de gratis da.
And I think that just goes beyond just abilities and gifts, whatever God has given us.
Y eso es más allá de la estabilidad de lo que Dios nos ha dado.
But it's also the salvation that He's brought us.
Y es de la salvación que Él nos ha dado.
We hold on to it so much.
Nos agarramos tanto de eso
God has given you a specific ability. You hold on to it so much.
que también Dios nos da habilidad y nos agarramos de eso.
We forget the fact that it wasn't ours to begin with.
Y nos olvidamos.
We forget that it wasn't ours to begin with.
Y nos olvidamos que no es nuestro.
Because the moment you die,
Y el momento que tú te mueres,
okay, I can be the best singer in the world.
yo puedo ser el mejor cantante.
The moment I die,
El momento que yo
that
muero,
ability
esa habilidad
doesn't stay with me.
no se queda conmigo.
If God gave it to me,
Si Dios me lo da,
where is it going to go
¿dónde va a ir?
after I'm dead?
Después que yo muera.
If I gave you something,
Si yo te doy algo,
hold it for me.
agárralo para mí.
You go and die,
Tú te mueres,
I'm going to go.
yo voy,
Thank you.
yo digo thank you,
I'm going to pass to somebody else now.
y yo se lo voy a pasar a alguien.
Because our abilities are not ours.
Porque la habilidad no es de nosotros.
Our abilities are gifts were given by God.
Y nuestra habilidad no ha sido dada por Dios.
If we're not using it for Him,
Pero cuando yo lo uso para Él,
if we're not using it for Him,
y si no lo usamos para Él,
we're going to die.
nos vamos a morir.
He's going to retrieve it
Y Él va a recibirlo
and give it to somebody
y
else.
se lo va a dar a otra persona.
Even if you do use it for Him,
Solo si tú lo usas para Él.
even if you use it for Him,
Sí, mismo si tú lo usas para Él.
you will die.
Te mueres,
He's going to retrieve it
Él lo va a recibir
and pass some to somebody
y
else.
se lo va a pasar a otra persona.
It doesn't matter
No importa
what you have.
qué es lo que tú tienes.
What matters is how you use it.
No importa lo que tú tienes, lo importante es cómo tú lo usas.
What matters is that you understanding
Lo importante es que tú entiendas
that it wasn't yours to begin with,
que no era tuyo al
and it
comienzo
won't be yours after you're gone.
y no va a ser tuyo cuando mueras.
Because He freely gave it to you,
De gratis fue dado
so He will freely take it back.
y de gratis Él lo tomará de nuevo.
If we don't utilize our gifts correctly, if we don't use our gifts correctly,
Si no usamos nuestros dones correctamente
we end up becoming slaves to our own gifts.
y nos hacemos esclavos de nuestros propios
Give you an
dones.
example.
Un ejemplo,
Somebody who sings in church,
alguien que canta en la iglesia,
if they focus so much on that,
si se enfocan solo en eso
their identity becomes somebody who sings at church.
y la identidad se vuelve alguien que canta en la iglesia,
Not what they can do,
no lo que ellos pueden hacer,
who they are.
qué es lo que ellos son
All that we focus on
o lo que ellos se enfocan.
is the fact that they can sing. The fact that they can sing.
El fato es que ellos
Or the
pueden cantar
fact
y
that they
el
can
fato
do something.
que ellos pueden
Do something
hacer algo
according to their gifts.
de acuerdo a su don.
Another example is Matthew 25.
En otro ejemplo, en Mateo 25,
It's 1 through 13.
de 1 al 13,
It says, "Then the kingdom of heaven
el reino de los cielos
shall be likened to 10 virgins who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. Now 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish." You guys got it? Just follow along. Those who were foolish took their lamps. Those who were foolish took their lamps with no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. But while the bridegroom was delayed, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight a cry was heard, "Behold, the bridegroom is coming. Go out to meet him." Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said to the wise, "Give us some of your oil, for our lamps are going dry." But the wise answered, saying, "No, lest there should not be enough for us and you. But go rather to those who sell and buy for yourselves." Verse 10, "And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and those who were ready went in with him to the wedding, and the door was shut. Afterward, the other virgins came also, saying, 'Lord, Lord, open to us.' But he answered and said, 'Assuredly I say to you, I do not know you. Watch therefore, for you know neither the day or the hour in which the Son of Man is coming.'" This example here is specifically about a price,
Este ejemplo es específico
of taking an extra step,
de dar un paso más.
for not just doing what is simply required.
No hacer solo lo que se manda hacer.
And this originally goes back to what I said in the beginning.
Y lo que yo dije en el principio,
You know, we've read this so many times, this verse, this passage.
sí que nos acordamos de este versículo tantas veces.
We've heard countless sermons about this passage.
Y escuchamos sermones de este pasaje.
Yet so many of us act like the foolish virgins.
Y
So many of us act like the foolish virgins.
a muchos de nosotros nos portamos como las vírgenes insensatas.
What were the virgins doing?
¿Qué las vírgenes estaban haciendo?
They were getting ready to meet the bridegroom.
Ellos estaban preparándose para recibir al novio.
They got ready, they were taking their lamps
Y estaban listas para agarrar sus lámparas
and go meet the bridegroom.
y encontrarse con el novio.
So in other words, they knew what had to be done.
Ellos saben lo que tenía que hacer, lo que tenía que ser hecho.
They knew that they had at some point to light their lamps.
Y en un punto en la vida
They knew they had to light the lamps.
tenían que prender esas lámparas.
They were ready physically,
Estaban listas físicamente,
got dressed up, whatever,
Estaban
makeup,
vestidas.
whatever it is.
estaban todas como una novia.
But internally,
Y interiormente,
some of them
algunas de ellas
were not ready to pay a bigger price.
no estaban dispuestas a pagar un precio.
Because instead of realizing,
Porque en vez de darse de cuenta, se dieron de cuenta
if I have to use this lamp
que si yo tengo que usar esta lámpara
soon,
pronto,
at some point,
en algún momento,
why would I not have oil already in it?
porque yo no tengo aceite en esa lámpara.
Why would I just take this
Porque yo tengo esta
and expect at some point that there's going to be fire?
y pienso que se va a prender, solo que va a haber fuego sin líquido.
It's not going to light itself,
No se va a prender solo
and it's not going to fuel itself.
y no se va a llenar sola.
So why
¿Y por qué?
would I not decide
¿Por qué yo no decido
to store up the oil?
de tener mi reserva de aceite?
Why would I not do that?
¿Por qué yo no
I
hago
don't
eso?
know when the bridegroom is coming.
Porque yo no sé cuándo viene el novio.
So why
¿Por qué
am I going to sit here
me voy a sentar aquí
waiting
esperando
for something to happen
para que algo pase
while other people are storing their oil
cuando hay otras personas que están guardando su
when I
aceite?
know I have to use this lamp at some point?
Y yo sé que tengo que usar esta lámpara en algún momento.
Why am I wasting my time just sitting here?
¿Por qué yo estoy perdiendo mi tiempo aquí?
They knew what they had to do with the lamp. They knew what they had to do with the lamp.
Ellos saben qué es lo que tenían que hacer con esas lámparas.
But they still didn't take the extra step to make it happen.
Y no tomaron ese paso extra para hacer
To guarantee that the lamp was going to be ready.
y garantizar que la lámpara esté lista.
Don't raise your hands.
No levante su mano.
But how many of us have been delayed in our spiritual lives simply because we don't make things happen?
¿Cuántos de nosotros, no levante su mano, cuántos de nosotros,
How many of us have been delayed in our spiritual lives
cuántos de nosotros estamos atrasados en nuestra vida espiritual
simply because we don't make things happen?
simplemente porque no hacemos que nada pase?
We don't do.
No hacemos,
We wait.
esperamos
We allow life to just take us.
y solo dejamos la vida que nos tome.
You know, I'm guilty of this,
Yo soy culpable de esto,
100%.
100%.
And that's not just in spiritual life, but in your regular life as well.
No solo en tu vida espiritual, pero en tu día regular.
Regular life. if you don't take a step to put things into action,
Si tú no tomas un paso para poner las cosas en acción,
nothing's going to happen for you.
nada va a pasar.
Your spiritual life and
En
your
tu vida
physical life.
espiritual y en tu vida regular.
I know it needs to be done,
Yo sé lo que tiene que ser hecho,
but I still find myself in the same cycle as always.
pero siempre me mantengo en el mismo círculo, en el mismo círculo.
I think I'm going to do something,
Pienso que voy a hacer algo
and life continues,
y la vida continúa
and I start falling back,
y yo comienzo a regresar
and I realize what I'm doing.
y me doy cuenta de lo que estoy haciendo.
I get back to the same point,
Regreso al mismo punto,
and I don't change,
no cambio
and I fall back,
y regreso de nuevo
and I get back up, and I realize what I'm doing,
y regreso y me doy cuenta de lo que estoy
and I go back to
haciendo
the same point.
y vuelvo al mismo
But I know
punto.
what I have to do,
Y yo sé lo que tengo que hacer,
but I don't do it.
pero yo no lo hago.
So I get stuck in the same cycle.
Y eso es estar en el mismo círculo.
And in this versions, we see the same thing.
Y en este versículo vemos eso,
They were not married.
que no estaban
You
casados
got to the point of a wedding coming up.
y llegaron al punto de que viene una
Instead
boda
of being ready,
y en vez de estar listas,
they weren't ready.
no estaban listas
They realized what they were doing.
y se dieron de cuenta de lo que estaban haciendo
They left to go buy oil,
y tenían que comprar aceite
and they got to the same point where
y,
they started.
y regresaron al mismo punto donde comenzaron.
No bridegroom.
El novio,
No bridegroom.
no había novio.
Back to the same cycle. They were in the process of getting married
Ellos estaban en el proceso de casarse,
because they didn't take an extra step.
pero porque no cogieron un paso extra
They went right back to where they started.
y volvieron a donde comenzaron.
As 5 foolish virgins.
Y dice 5 vírgenes insensatas.
Just because things aren't happening
Solo porque las cosas no están pasando
at the pace that you desire
al paso que tú deseabas,
doesn't give you the privilege to relax
no te da el privilegio de relajarte
or the excuse to not do something.
o de la excusa de no hacer nada.
Because
¿Por qué?
so you got 5 virgins who had the oil,
Porque hay 5 vírgenes con
and
aceite
you had 5 virgins who didn't have the oil.
y hay 5 vírgenes que no tenían aceite.
The bridegroom's running late.
Y el novio estaba tarde.
So instead of the 5 that were foolish,
Y en vez de las 5 insensatas,
he's late.
y dice, él está
We don't
tarde,
have oil.
no tenemos aceite,
Let's go buy some oil.
vamos a buscar
Because we
aceite.
know he's late.
Porque saben que él está tarde.
They didn't do that.
Ellos no hicieron eso.
What did they do?
¿Qué ellos hicieron?
They
Ellos
enjoyed
¿cómo se aprovecharon
the moment of peace
el momento de descanso
for
de
the
paz.
wise virgins.
y
For the wise virgins.
para la virgen prudente.
They tried
Ellos
to
trataron
enjoy
de aprovechar
a moment
el momento
that was for the wise virgins
que era para las 5 prudentes,
when they weren't qualified to be there.
que ellas no eran calificadas para estar ahí.
That moment of rest
El momento de descanso
should have been their moment of working.
debía ser el momento de ellas trabajar,
Because the wise virgins were like, I'm ready.
porque la prudente dice, yo estoy lista.
He's not here,
Él no está aquí,
but I know I have to be here with my oil and my lamp.
pero yo sé que yo tengo que estar aquí con mi lámpara y con mi aceite.
So I'm going to sit here,
Yo me voy a sentar aquí
and once they're calling,
y cuando me llaman,
I'm ready to go.
yo estoy listo para
So I
salir.
fulfilled everything I had to fulfill.
Y yo tengo que cumplir todo lo que tiene que ser cumplido.
But the other ones
Y las otras,
saw the 5 sleeping.
y las 5 que estaban durmiendo,
Sounds nice. I'm going to do that too. That sounds nice. I'm going to do that too.
y dice, suena bien, voy a hacer eso también.
Scoot over. I'm right next to you. I'm going to lay down right next to you.
Y dice, voy a estar aquí del lado tuyo.
Maybe your oil will transfer to me. I don't know. In the moment of rest,
En el momento de descanso,
for the wise,
para las prudentes,
should have been the moment of working for the foolish.
y tenía que ser el momento de trabajar las insensatas.
Which I go back to what I said in the beginning.
Y es lo mismo que yo dije al principio.
The delay in time
El atraso en el tiempo
is for you to take advantage and store up more oil.
es para que tú aproveches y guardes más aceite.
Because what's coming next
Porque lo que viene después
will require the oil that you should have been storing.
va a necesitar del aceite que tú has guardado.
I just imagine
Y imagina,
the bridegroom delayed.
el novio estaba tarde.
It was the perfect opportunity
Era la perfecta oportunidad
for the foolish to store oil.
para que las insensatas guardaran aceite.
They didn't take advantage of that.
No tomaron provecho de ese tiempo.
The bridegroom's delay was merciful for them.
El atraso del novio era misericordioso para
It
ellos.
gave him a chance.
Ellos fueron una oportunidad.
It gave him a chance
Fue darle una oportunidad
to store the oil.
para que ellas pudieran guardar aceite.
But they didn't take advantage.
Pero ellas no aprovecharon ese momento.
Just as the foolish virgins expected
Y dice que las novias imprudentes
to be well off, by just physically being ready,
estaban físicamente listas.
and they thought that was enough.
Ellas pensaron que eso era suficiente,
They didn't have oil.
pero no tenían aceite.
When you expect,
Y ellos esperaban,
how
ellos esperaban
can you expect
¿cómo tú esperas
to come here to service,
de venir aquí al servicio
witness everybody receiving,
cuando todo el mundo está
and
recibiendo
you're left out
y tú sales y tú quedas por fuera?
because you're not storing oil throughout the week?
Porque no has guardado aceite durante la semana.
You're not storing your oil in your day-to-day
No estás guardando aceite durante el día a día
to prepare for the arrival of the bridegroom.
para prepararte para la venida del novio.
You know he's going to be here at 10:30 in the morning every Sunday.
Tú sabes que él va a estar aquí a las 10:30 todos los domingos en la mañana.
In this case, he's never delayed. He's never late.
Él nunca está tarde.
So you have no mercy. You have 6 days of the week to store oil.
Tú tienes 6 días a la semana para guardar aceite.
You can't expect
Tú no puedes esperar
to not store oil
de no guardar aceite
and then to come here
y venir aquí
and be ready to receive the bridegroom.
y venir y estar preparada para recibir al novio.
You can't.
No puedes.
So then what happens?
¿Y qué pasa?
You look over here.
Y miramos aquí,
What was it? Verse.
miramos en el verso
Oops, my bad. Verse 8.
8.
And the foolish said to the wise, "Give us some of your oil, for our lamps are going out." Verse 9. But the wise answered, saying, "No, lest there should not be enough for us and you, but go rather to those who sell and buy for yourselves." So then what happens?
Mira lo que pasa.
You didn't store oil,
Ellos no guardaron aceite,
and you're here,
están aquí
and you're waiting to receive from the bridegroom.
y estás esperando recibir del novio.
So then you have to rely on those that have stored oil,
Y tú tienes que depender de los que ya tienen aceite guardado,
because they're ready to receive the bridegroom.
porque ellos están listos para recibir.
They're ready to receive him.
Ellos están listos para recibir.
So you rely on a portion
Y tú estás confiando en la porción
that they can offer you,
que ellos te puedan dar.
but that's impossible.
Es imposible.
I can't give you from my stored oil.
Yo no te puedo dar de mi aceite que tengo guardado.
I'm not going to have enough for what he has prepared for me.
Y yo no voy a tener, si no, yo no voy a tener suficiente para lo que él tiene preparado
'Cause
para mí.
my journey is a journey,
Es mi jornada,
is one,
es una,
your journey is another.
y tu jornada es otra.
Maybe I'm going to need 10 gallons of oil
Tal vez yo voy a necesitar 10 galones de aceite
to reach the end.
para llegar al final.
Maybe you're going to need 20,
Tal vez tú vas a necesitar 20
30, whatever it
o
is.
30.
You can't rely on my stored oil
Tú no puedes depender de mi aceite que tengo
for
guardado
your journey with the bridegroom.
para andar en una jornada con el
You
novio.
can't expect it.
Tú no puedes esperar.
Just as worship,
Es igual que la adoración.
I can't make you experience the presence of God.
Yo no puedo hacer que tú experimentes de la presencia de Dios.
It's completely up to you and your stored oil.
Es contigo y cuánto aceite has guardado.